Hi everyone. This video tutorial describes how to add and configure fields in a WBS chart. Take, for example, the WBS chart shown here on the screen. It has a single field, just the task name for both the summary tasks and the tasks in the chart. Other WBS charts have various amounts of fields. Here we have the task name, the duration, the percent complete, start finish, and a WBS number. If you go through some of the other WBS charts, you can see various different fields associated with summaries and tasks. Going back to this initial WBS, how do we add additional fields to this WBS chart? Well, that's done under the Format menu. Under the Format menu, you have an option that allows you to define either the summary task fields or the task fields, and these are done separately. So you can add fields to a summary and not to a task, to one or the other or both. So for example, if I choose summary tasks and I wanted to put a field next to the task name field, I could choose the name field here in the center and I can insert a column. So this is just more or less a grid. You add columns, you add rows. I can add another row of data. But what I've done is I've added another column which simply repeats the column that was selected, and I can choose the field I wish to put in that other field. For example, I can put the WBS field in there. So right off the bat, if I click OK, this is what I get. I get the WBS number next to the task name field. Again, just for the summary task. It also puts a grid line there, which is another option you can change. If I go back to fields and I choose summary tasks, I choose grid lines, I can choose to set grid lines or remove grid lines. If I don't want that grid line there, I can simply say clear all, and that clears the grid line from between the WBS and the name field. We'll show you how that looks in a second. I can change colors for the field. For example, if I wanted to choose the text and have it be red, I can choose the background fill of a field. I don't think I want to do that, so it's an option though, if you wanted to fill the background of the fields that you've selected. And all the other options here are for configuring the currently selected field. So I'm selecting the WBS field. I can change the font. I can change the alignment, whether it's bold, italic. I can even rotate the text. And I can even wrap the characters after a certain number of fields. This works best on the name field. So let's see how this looks if I click OK. So that's okay. It's got the WBS field next to the task name field. I can repeat the process for the text field, or for the task fields, I should say, by going to Fields, Task. I can insert a column to the left of that. I can rename this from the drop-down list to the WBS field. I can remove the grid lines. I can color the text red, just like I did for the summary task. And there now I have the WBS field next to the task name field. Another option that I can use is I can put fields outside of boxes. If I wanted to do that for the summary task, I can go back to the Format tab again, choose Fields, Summary Task. And this gets a little tricky because what I have to do is I have to add a particular row. And from here, I can highlight and merge rows, or merge columns in this case. I can left justify. I can take this field and make it the name field, merge that, maybe make the name field black. And for the final option, I want to set the box interior. Now by setting the box interior, that means any of the other fields that are present that aren't selected here, as you can see, this is going to be the box interior, will remain outside the box. So with this selected, this is how this looks. Now this WBS field is a little bit far away from the box itself, so maybe I can go back and change the margins. So if I click the WBS field, I choose margins, I can put the top and bottom margins to 0. I can put the left margins to 0. I can put, well, basically all margins to 0. And that will tuck this WBS field closer to the box. It's left justified, as I can see from the align box down here. And as far as how it looks on the screen, There you go. Now you have the WBS field on top of all the summary tasks and the WBS field next to the tasks for all the tasks in the chart. So that's the basics to creating and displaying and modifying fields in a WBS chart.